Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and from unboxings.com, here looking at the ZTE Skate. This has been on sale for a little while as the Orange Monte Carlo, but this version here is the SIM-free version that we're going to take a quick look at. So we'll talk about the hardware in just a second. I do need to point out that this is a pre-retail demo model, hence there's no box. We think it's full and final hardware and full and final ROM, but we can't absolutely be certain of that. And as I say, no box, and it's going to go on sale SIM-free very soon. So I'm going to take a quick look at the hardware. At the top we have some indicator LEDs, proximity sensor, ambient light sensor, and the speaker. The display itself is a 4.3-inch capacitive touchscreen, 480 by 800 pixels, decent size at 4.3 inch. Underneath we have a number of physical buttons, and so unlike many other Android handsets, physical buttons underneath, and there are only 3, so you have the home, menu and back button. Looking around to the left hand side you have an up and down volume control, nothing else really to see. On the bottom there's a cutout for removing the battery compartment or back panel, and a hole there which is the microphone. To the right we have a micro USB connector there for sync and charge, and the power button. And then right on top we have a 3.5mm headphone connector. Now I suspect, like with other handsets, you'll probably get a wired headset, but obviously you can use your own 3.5mm headphones. On the back we have a 5-megapixel autofocus camera with an LED flash, and there is on the back of this one, which is a little bit strange, the orange logo, but this is the actual Skate, as is indicated by the fact that it's got the ZTE logo rather than Monte Carlo written on the front. I guess it's just that they've got number of back panels printed up or whatever with the orange logo. Underneath we'll just pop the back cover off. It's a little bit easier said than done. Okay, so we pop the back cover off. We have the battery in place. So it's this large, long, kind of thin battery. It's a bit unusual, but that goes in place like so, and that is a 1400 mAh battery. The SIM card goes here and a micro SD card here, supporting up to 32 gig micro SDHC memory cards. We'll just pop the back cover back on, and it just all snaps into place. It's a little bit plasticky, and you'll notice already there are a lot of fingerprints on here. Very much a fingerprint magnet with this plastic sort of finish to it, piano black, even on the front as well. It's been a little bit hard to, in fact, to remove the fingerprints properly to do the video. I'm just going to power up, and while we wait for that to come on, it's tri-band for GSM and dual band for HSDPA. It's not going to work everywhere in the world, but most places it will be fine. Size 126mm from top to bottom, just under 68mm wide, and 10.4mm thick. The thing that's quite striking about it though is the weight. It's fairly lightweight, 120 grams for such a large handset. It's quite surprising. You would expect it to be a lot heavier. Running down the rest of the spec then, 480 by 800 pixel display, as we say, 4.3 inch, and then on the back we have that 5-megapixel autofocus camera. There's 512 meg of RAM. There's an undisclosed amount of ROM at the moment. There's a little bit of a sort of discrepancy in terms of what we're being told in terms of the ROM, and likewise in terms of the processor. When we actually went to ZTE's event, maybe a couple of months ago now, when they discussed the Touris and Skate and various other things, they did tell us that the Skate was going to be available SIM-free, or when it was available SIM-free it would be a 1 GHz processor, and this one's actually 800 MHz, and it's Android OS 2.3.4, which is pretty good as well. In terms of other stuff, it's got Wi-Fi supporting 802.11bg standards, no end standard on this one, and Bluetooth 2.1 with A2DP and EDR support. And there's also GPS and all that kind of stuff as well that you can pretty much come to expect. So if you saw the unboxing video we did of the Monte Carlo a few weeks ago, you'll know that it was very much heavily Orange branded, and this is very different. It's a much more vanilla approach to Android, and you'll notice that it's started up initially in a foreign language. I think that's Portuguese, but we're going to go through, in fact we're not going to go through any of the setup. Let's just skip through this, because all of this stuff is going to be a guess, because I don't read Portuguese. Wait for it to start up, and let's go home. The important thing is at the bottom, into the configuration, and we'll change the language. yeah, Portuguese into English. There we go, and we're going to connect to a Wi-Fi network. I'll go ahead and do that. First of all, try that again. We have the Touchpal keyboard. Not a big fan of Touchpal, but it is included. It's kind of annoying with this ticky, which you can turn off. But I'm not a fan of Touchpal. I just find it a little bit awkward and kind of annoying. I guess it's something that you could get used to. I will certainly be switching to the Android keyboard. I don't think there's any value in Touchpal for myself personally. So let's go ahead, and as you can see there, we've got a standard QWERTY keyboard, Android QWERTY. So we'll go ahead and connect. We are connected. So if we can go back out of here, that's the home screen. There we go. So we've got this thing at the top here, a widget there that's still in Portuguese. We'll ditch that. And then we'll just take a look around. So first of all, we've got the Google search at the top with the voice search and messages, phone book. We've also got this Vivo Copilot, Windows Live, I think that is, the Live Messenger. There we go, Windows Live, Internet, YouTube, Maps, and Market. Swiping across, we have this Vivo stuff. I think that's sort of like operator specific actually, and probably down to the fact that it's a Portuguese handset. Settings, Task Manager, Notepad, and Download. Then we have media controls at the top here. It's reporting obviously that there's no SD card. Music, videos, FM radio, sound recorder, camera, camcorder, gallery, and filter, or filer, in fact. File manager, one assumes. About the other way. Got a YouTube widget at the top. Gmail, talk, and email, documents to go. Alarm, calculator, calendar, and global time. Top here is the power controls, so you can turn the Wi-Fi on and off, Bluetooth on and off, sat nav, GPS, file transfer, synchronize, and backlight. There we go, turn the backlight brightness up to maximum. At the bottom, we also have the launcher, so that we have everything in here. This looks pretty pretty standard stuff. Look at the phone dialer. So a nice large numeric panel, and it's again pretty standard stuff. You've got the dialer, the calls, contacts, favourites, and groups, and nice responsive capacitive touchscreen makes that nice and easy to use. There's what else we have. So with some of these Vivo stuff, bits and pieces in here, Internet, Market, Messages, and so on, YouTube and Windows Live. Kind of standard stuff. We'll take a quick look at the browser, which is immediately going to the Vivo site, but we're going to go to our site. Oops. And we've got the progress bar at the top. Caveat as always, we are using broadband and connecting over Wi-Fi. So this is just showing you how quickly the page loads and renders rather than actual download speeds for the... There we go, that was pretty quick. So I can use two fingers to zoom in and out. Oh, that was out, obviously, zoom in. There's a little bit of lag with the zoom. And it's not absolutely smooth in scrolling, but it's pretty good. The display is, again, very decent. And even with the small text, it's completely legible. So if you want to swing the handset into the landscape orientation, I think web browsing will be absolutely no problem. A nice 4.3 inch display is going to do a reasonably good job. So we come back out of here. Take a quick look at YouTube. Do a search for my YouTube channel. Let's just pick any one of these. See how quickly that loads and buffers and plays. bad. A little bit of buffer time. Could be as much down to the broadband connection speeds as anything else, but a standard, the standard YouTube client for Android there, which is pretty good anyway. In terms of some other things, I want to go into Android Market, so I'm going to sign in. I'm going to download System Panel just so we can take a look at the CPU speed. So I'm going to sign into Google account. Okay, we're just signing in, loading Android Market. I'll do a quick search. For System Panel. We use the light version, which is free. Just download that and install it. Hopefully that won't take too long to download. If we come back, have a look at some of the other apps here that we can see this downloading, and it's offering me to re-download my ROM manager. There doesn't seem to be any updates on there at the moment. So that's installed Task Manager Lite, and you can see up at the top corner here it's showing the CPU usage and current CPU speed, because obviously it intelligently switches CPU speed, and then you've got pie charts available there as well, and all your active applications. If we go into the menu and look at device information, we can have a look through here. So device, skate, item ZTE, and so on. The model is the V960, which is the, I guess, the code name or whatever. Zhangshong, or ZTE. There you go. ZTE is Zhangshong. And we scroll through, and then we have the CPU. So processor cores 1, CPU is present 1, and you've got obviously the architecture here. And there we go. So your minimum clock speed, because it switches down, is 245 megahertz, and as you can see there, maximum clock speed 800. So whether or not this will be updated to have that 1 gigahertz, or that was just dud information, I'm not sure. But as I say, we were told that the Skate would be released SIM-free with a 1 gigahertz processor. Nevertheless, take a quick look at Google Maps and see how quickly we can pick up a GPS signal. Waiting for location. You give it a few seconds and see what happens. Being indoors, there we go. That's worked. So quick GPS fix. That wasn't bad. Indoors as well. Pretty reasonable. In terms of other stuff in here, it's still pretty standard stuff, to be honest with you. There's a few other things in here that are unusual, such as the Windows Live and the Vivo content and other bits and pieces like that. But I don't suspect that that will be in the full SIM-free version that's available here in the UK. Anyway, that's a very quick look at the ZTE Skate. We'll have a full review for you over the next week or so. And to be honest, because our Monte Carlo review is just about to go on site, the Skate review will be a little bit more simplistic, because obviously it's just pretty much the same, well, it is the same hardware, and it's just a follow-up, and a few other bits and pieces are going to change, but to all intents and purposes it's the same handset, albeit with a different overlay. And so that'll be up in the next, I guess, in the next week or so. In the meantime, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's twitter.com/TracyandMatt or facebook.com/TracyandMatt.co.uk. And I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on TracyandMatt.co.uk. But for now, thanks for watching.